will become exclusive to active customers who maintain an active subscription to the strategy. Right now, we have it open for free. Everyone who attends the call agrees that they're attending at their own discretion. All of the trading ideas, the concepts, the images, the discussions that are presented on the call are delivered to everyone uniformly for educational purposes only, without regard to an individual's trade objectives, financial condition, or suitability, and should never be interpreted as financial advice. Trading on margin can carry a unique and potentially high level of risk. So by joining this call, if you choose to follow or act on any of the trade ideas that are discussed, you acknowledge that you're trading at your own discretion and you're fully responsible for the outcome of your trading decisions. Remember to never trade with money you cannot afford to lose. So right before we get kicked off, you'll see a chart that looks like this. So pay close attention because I see a lot of the questions coming in will be answered right now. So just pay attention to what I'm saying. You're going to see an MT4 chart. It looks like this, a financial chart. And that's from our coach, Coach Mo. He's sharing his screen. Now I'm going to explain what this is. So first off, the instrument we're looking at is called the US 30. And that's a futures contract for what's known as the Dow Jones Industrial Average. This is something that's available about 5 days a week, 22 hours a day. And you'll see lines running across the screen. And you could either put these lines on your chart in real time or not. A lot of people have been able to achieve success without having to put these lines manually on their own chart because it's on the coach's chart. But the green lines represent what we call a buy zone, and the red lines represent what we call a sell zone. So after the market opens, which is at 9:30 Eastern, in about 8 minutes, if we see a green candle pierce through the buy zone, that's when we look to take a buy trade. And if we see a red candle that pierces down through the sell zone after the market opens, that's when we'd look for a potential sell trade. Now, important to know, we don't just jump in blindly. It's not about, oh, the green touched the zone, we're getting in. We're just patient because there's multiple confirmations that we look for before we make a decision. One of those confirmations is where price is at in relation to the zone. But there's a lot of other things that are being evaluated, right? So our coach explains, okay, here's what I'm seeing. This is what I'm doing. Okay, I'm getting ready to do this or do that, right? And the point of this call is you get to watch and learn in real time how someone who's been trading for 21 years trades a volatile, fast-moving instrument. And Coach Mo has a very high rate of success. And so we get to watch and learn. And for those that build up a skill to participate, then they have a chance to trade along with our coach at their own discretion, right? You could trade all on your own on any platform that you wish that has a similar price feed, right? You could participate at your own discretion, or you could just learn and watch what's possible here. Because this strategy here is incredible when it comes to learning how to compound your capital, right? It's an effective skill set you need to develop, but it's incredible. Now, every day is different. Sometimes we don't take a trade, and sometimes we take multiple trades. So our coach will talk about if he's going to take multiple trades, that's called a cost average. So if he says, hey, I'm getting into a sell, and then 10 seconds later, he says, I'm cost averaging, that just means he's taking another sell. That's all that means. Once we get into a trade, you'll see the stats changing on the coach's chart. These are all features that you'll have access to once we go live. You'll be able to download this interface into your computer, and you'll have all the same stats. For now, we're just showing you how the software works in terms of the stats and the buttons that we created to be able to execute really fast. Now, we were talking about when to get in, but it's important to also know when to get out. So if we see about a 3% loss or drawdown, we'll look to close our trades. If we see engulfing candles going against us, that means the trend can have an abrupt sudden change. We'd also look to close the trade as well. So the goal of our strategy is to grow our accounts by a few percent within just a couple of minutes and then close the trade as quickly as possible while maximizing our profit. Losing days are unavoidable. We've seen one losing day in the last 20 days. So what does that tell us? It means that, it's inevitable we'll be having another losing day. That could be today, right? Losing in trading is like getting punched when you're a boxer. You just can't avoid it. And for us, losses are great news because our losses fit into our parameters of how much we lose when we lose, because you have control of when to close your trade. And so when we lose, it just means we're one step closer to our goal. And here's a quick example before we pass the call over to Coach Mo. So if you start learning about compounding, this is what makes this strategy so incredible if you learn how to do it effectively. This is a real math example. If someone had an account with $2,500 and they were able to grow that by 3% a day with a strategy like ours, but they lost 3% every fourth day, right? So win 3, lose 1, win 3, lose 1. That would average to about 1 loss, sometimes 2 losses per week. That would also be an average of 9% in growth per week. And in a year, at 9% per week in growth, that $2,500 would grow to over $130,000. Right? So it just shows the power of consistency. We have a lot of great success stories so far in our community, but it's only been a few weeks. Right? Our goal is, let's take a look at what you can do in 3 months, 6 months, 9 months. Let's really see how close we can get to achieving some of these goals. With that being said, I'm going to pass the call to Coach Mo, who can share his screen now. And let's take a look at what the market is doing today. And best of luck to everyone. After the call, we'll see if there was any opportunity and to see if anyone wants to share what they did. Thank you so much, Coach Mo. And we'll talk to you in a few minutes.
Absolutely. It's my pleasure to be here. And for those that are paying attention, the green line, the solid green line is placed at 31,831. The solid red line is at 31,734. Today, we could have a losing day. We could have a winning day. The market's already moving. It's already in the buy zone, the bullish area. It's pretty bullish, this market this morning. So the reason why we say we could have a losing day is because there's no way to guarantee a win every single day. Even though out of the last 20 days, we've won a lot in a row. We only took 1 loss in the last, 3.5 weeks, almost 4 weeks. So if you're here for the first time and you're a guest, know that we've only lost 1 trade in the last 3.5 weeks. Two days we didn't trade at all. And we might have a losing day today. The market is very strong in the morning. It can go up fast, it can go down fast, but as long as you learn what we do, you could potentially do well here. So I'm not giving any financial advice. I'm not telling you when to do what to do. You're observing my chart, and when I place a trade, I'm just going to tell you what I'm doing. And if you choose to follow along and copy it or, do it on your chart, that's your choice. So that's what people have been doing, and they've been having some great success over the last 3.5, 4 weeks. But we've been doing this for Sal and myself. We've been doing this for about 6 months already, every morning. So so we're very excited about this strategy and very impressed with the way this is all unfolded. So right now we're in the buy area, the buy zone, also called the bullish zone. So we're in the bullish zone, and we'll see how the market opens. The market is about 50 seconds from open. It looks like the market is bullish this morning for sure, but we'll see. The market open can change all that, so just be careful. Okay, the market's already opening here pretty strong before the market opened, but I'm just going to be patient and wait and see what happens here. The market's still not open yet, but it's moving bullish, very strong. So we'll see. That candle's already a $27 move. Okay, I'm just holding on here for a second. I'm not in any trades yet. I'm just holding on. I'm not in any trades. I'm just being patient. I'm just observing what the market's doing. We got 15 seconds left of this candle. All right, just got into a buy. I just got into a cost average. I'm in 3 trades right now. I'm in another cost average. Let's see how this market responds here. My last cost average, and we'll see here. We're in about a 2% drawdown. Just being patient here, and we're at about a 3% drawdown, and I just closed some trades here. We just took a loss of about 3.5%. Just closed the trades at a loss. We did take a loss today. Hold on. Let's see if we can get into another trade here. We might be able to. I'm just seeing what the market's doing here. I'm just being patient. But at this point, we're in about 3 minutes. We took a loss. This would be our second losing day in 3.5, almost 4 weeks. I'm not seeing a very good trade setup at this point. I'm just seeing how the market is reacting. So as you can see, we're in the sell zone, but the way the candle's behavior is happening in the sell zone, that's why I never placed a trade there. because it's finding some support. So that those that are on the call understand what's happened this morning. So I'm going to explain. So we have a bullish trend, and the market started off very bullish, meaning like the market was going up, was already started into the buy zone, pierced way up into the buy zone. And then when you get into a trade, sometimes they're called fake outs. That's why we take losses. Losses are very common when you place trades in the market. I mean, you cannot be perfect. It's impossible to have 100% win ratio. No one's ever won 100% of the time. If they told you that, then they're lying to you, and they're misleading you, because this is real trading. Now, what happened is that what we do is we mitigate our losses. And so with this particular trade, what ended up happening is, yes, it went up. Yes, it was a buy signal. However, right away it came down. And so, that's why we took the loss. However, at the end of the day, that can happen once to twice a week, potentially. And even if it happened once to twice a week, then, you still win. I would still win overall throughout the month, throughout the year. So we could take 2 losses a week and still have a profitable trading strategy. Now, we've taken 2 losses in about a month. So our win ratio is really high with this strategy. But this morning, there was a fake out that happens, and that's why we say right before the call, this could be a day we don't trade. This could be a day we take a loss. I mean, that is common in trading. But if you stay consistent, you'll see that over the last month, we've taken 2 losses, and over the last, I guess you could say, 6 months, we've taken, I believe, 10 losses in 6 months. So, I mean, that's just the way trading is. So I think our ratio is quite good. 2 losses in a month's not too bad. With that being said, if you can see here, the market's becoming what's called rangy, which means it's not breaking out in new ways.